And it's time for the Marion Ancilla Coaches Show. Brett Hargrave, the head softball coach at Triton, joins me. And man, it's been one of those years. I know everybody's been struggling with the weather, but you've had one of those years. By the end of it, it's going to be interesting. If I remember right, last year, you had a ton of really young players, and it looks like right now they're starting to maybe start to figure some things out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were young last year. We didn't graduate any seniors. I've got two this year, but I've probably six or seven freshmen that they've come up this year, and they're ball players. So we're still pretty young, and really at this time, I'm starting four freshmen off the get go, and then there'll be a fifth one that starts depending on who I pitch.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
the one thing though is that for 2 years in a row you've had a lot of good young players. That's going to bode well later in this year and into next year.
Yeah, and then the eighth grade class that I have right now, there's a handful of them that are pretty good too, and they'll come up and help feed us too. So it's looking good here. I mean, so far, and going into the next couple years, I have really high hopes.
Well, you and I both know it's about the feeder system. I mean, it starts when they're 10 or 12, and that's how you have a good program when you get to high school.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to get going around here too, is getting some sort of travel system or something that's going on, and then trying to keep something going in the summer. And it'd be nice to do a fall thing, but that's wishful thinking right now, but hopefully we can build into that and it just keeps on rolling over for us.
Talk about some of your girls for us. I mean, Alicia Gonzalez looks like she's off to a really good start. You've got on the mound, you've got Mackenzie Singleton. Looks like she's doing very well. All I've got in front of me is your numbers, and looks like you got some people that are playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, we do. Our pitching, and it comes down to pitching really, and that's any team, any level. It's always pitching, pitching, pitching.
Yeah.
And our pitchers are coming along, and they're getting better. We're throwing more strikes, less pass balls, less walks, and that's what's really going to be crucial for us this year. And then, like I said before, I've got some youngsters on this team that are actually stepping up, and they're getting used to that varsity level pitching and seeing different things, and coming from the junior high to this level, they're not used to seeing drop balls and screw balls and rise balls and stuff like that. And then nobody that's really throwing any gas.
Yeah.
And now they're seeing it all, and they're getting their sea legs.
That is a huge jump to go from junior high and that level to varsity is just. I mean, that is a gigantic leap.
Oh, it is. And I'm the type of coach that I'm just going to throw you into the fire and be like, "Hey, let's go." And it's like it almost seems kind of scary for some of these kids, but it gives them the chance to actually rise to that occasion.
Yeah.
And more times than not, they do.
Seems to me like back in my playing days, I would have enjoyed that because you want to play. You don't want to sit and watch anybody else play, and getting a chance to get out there and show what you can do. That's how you get better.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So, who's been the leader of your group so far this year?
Well, just on like a captain basis, Claire Dahl. She is just take control of this team. She gets them going, and she does everything that you would want a senior to do.
Yeah.
And she's really stepped up and taken control. She's taking control of the outfield. She's my center fielder, and she's just been right there doing everything that I ask of her, and a lot of things that I don't.
You've had a chance to see your girls play a little bit so far. I mean, how do you feel about where you're at? Are you ahead of the curve? Are you where you thought you'd be?
Well, yeah. I mean, right now we're 3-2 right now, so we're above that 500 mark, which is really good. And I see us really competing with a lot of these teams that we didn't necessarily compete with last year. And we're in year two of I'm in year two of taking over the program here, and they're thinking like ball players a lot more, and they're just correcting things that they need to correct and do what they're supposed to do. And it's right now it's been really positive for us.
I was going to say, the times I saw you play last year, I felt like your girls really went at it. I mean, they face it. I mean, we're in an area where there's a lot of really, really good softball teams. Most of them are on your schedule. They found a way to compete with some teams that had some really good players.
Oh, absolutely. And it started out like the beginning of the season. I mean, it was a new system, a new coach, and but once we hit about mid, we started taking more strides. And by the end of last year, they were really, really digging into this system and digging into what we're telling them to do and showing them to do and stuff like that, and how to play softball at a different level. And they really started accepting it and started going into it. And then that just led into this season. So, and then we're off and running this season.
Well, Coach, thanks again for taking the time, and I hope you get the water off your field, and we'll see you in a few hours here.
Hey, that sounds great.
That's Brad Hargrave, the head coach at Triton. And we're joined by our Tony the Boss Ross Athlete of the Week. It is Braxton Kaufman from Triton, and man, congratulations on the award, and what a great start you guys have had so far.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we had a great start that week, and we had had another good week this week. Our team's doing really good, and I'm proud of what we accomplished already.
Had a little bit of a blip last night, but it actually, all I've got is your score sheet here. It looked like Drew Bingaman had a nice start, and then, once again, you're early in the season, and you got to develop some pitching depth.
Yes, sir. Drew did really well. He pitched really well, and our backup struggled a little bit, but we'll work the kinks out. He's a good pitcher otherwise, but he'll be all right.
I was going to say, you guys, I mean, you've had a really nice start on the mound. 2 wins in your first 2 starts. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I got to say, one of them being Caston. I mean, that's a good baseball team.
Yeah, they have a good coaching staff, and they're based really well, and they have a deep bench, and yeah, they know how to throw the ball well.
Let's talk about you guys a little bit. I mean, you're still extremely young. You had a really good run in the tournament last year, a really nice year last year. But, I'm sure during the off season you guys made some goals and talked about things. I mean, what steps do you want to take this year, maybe to go a little further?
The steps I want to take is just stay close to each other and be a family and work together as a team, and we're on the right track to make it there, and we're really close to each other, and I would love to keep that.
You guys have been playing together for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been together for a while now. Yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about let's talk about the process you guys went through, because I mean, watch the good programs, and they all start with their kids when they're young, and they come up all the way together. You guys have been playing together since when? When you were in Little League?
Yeah, we knew each other since 5th or 6th grade, and we've come a long way together, and we know how everybody works, and we work together. That helps us work together better. So, yeah, we have that community-based going for us.
Let's talk about that a little bit too. I mean, you guys get to learn what each other does well, but You've also got a lot of baseball guys too. I mean, you play other sports, a lot of you, but it seems like baseball is with most of you younger guys is like your favorite.
Oh yeah, most of the guys on the team, that's our only sport. We work all the way, we work all winter, we work all summer on it. A lot of us play summer ball together, and yeah, that's what we work on every year on the off season is baseball because everybody takes that seriously and they don't play other sports.
Have what about baseball is it that drew you to it? What makes you love it so much?
The reason why I love baseball is because it's a big mental game, and if you do a little thing wrong, you can see it, and the community behind it is just amazing, and they're always there to pick you up about it. And I always had a knack for it, I guess.
You know, I gotta say, I'm one of those old guys who's been around for a long time. There is a basketball has been kind of lately what Triton was known for, but man, you got a great baseball past too. I mean, there's a lot of history there.
Yes, sir. Like that, when Elliot came in, Coach Elliot came in, he really helped turn the baseball season around for us, and the players that came up and that are playing now really helped out with that as well.
How long have you been playing baseball?
I've been playing baseball ever since I can remember. My parents have told me when I was 3 years old, I was grabbing a plastic bat and a plastic ball and just started hitting it in the living room, and it just took off from there. I'd played summer ball for a couple of years now, and as a senior in high school, looking back, I want to give them a lot of thanks because they helped me get to this point.
Where do you play in the summer? Do you play with some of your other teammates too?
Yeah, I play with some. I play for the Plymouth Post 27
Oh,
Spiders.
okay. Yeah, I'm very familiar with them too. That's another great tradition there with that program, and there have been a lot of really great players come out of there too.
Yeah, they have good pitching coaches there, and they have a lot of good players going through there. They helped me a lot this last summer, getting better with my pitching, hitting, and yeah, they have a great program there, and I'm hoping to play for them again this summer.
I tell you what, I coached your coach, head coach at Valley. He played for me at Ancilla. He was a heck of a player.
Yeah, I bet he's a good coach too. I can see why he could be a great baseball player.
He's kind of intense.
Yeah, he's pretty intense.
You did when he was pitching. You didn't want to talk to him on game day. Let me tell you, that was not a good idea. He was focused. But do you feel like you're getting some of that? I mean, some of you mentioned the mental game. I mean, there's so much of that.
Yeah, he helped me really on that side of the game because when I started as a freshman, I didn't have many coaches like that. Like he sat me down and was like, hey, if you get on the mound, own it because you earned that spot, and like don't let anybody like get on your nerves about it. Just show them what you have, and just show them what you got and throw the ball hard.
Do you like pitching best?
Oh yeah, I love pitching. When I started pitching in 5th or 6th grade, I was like, yeah, if I want to go to college, I want to be a pitcher because you can run the game at your speed, and if you mess up, you know it's on you. But you just gotta be ready for every pitch because the team needs you.
It seems like you can swing the bat a little bit too. I mean, you got to like hitting some.
Oh yeah, hitting's fun, of course, because you can put the ball in play and score, man. You can help the team a lot by the plate.
What is your second position?
I'm all over. So yesterday we played casting again, and I started at first, then I moved to short, then I moved to third. So wherever the team needs me, I'll play because I just love being out there and playing for the team.
Talk about your other guys a little bit. I mean, there's You got so many good young players on that team. I mean, your catcher Max Johnson has impressed me. Denny's a really good player. We already mentioned Bingham, and he's a really good player. I mean, just talk about your guys a little bit. I mean, there's got to be a lot of camaraderie.
Oh yeah, me and Maddox and Drew we basically grew up together. I met Drew in freshman year actually when he used to be a homeschooler and he decided to come play for a public school and I kind of took him under my wing and he took me under his and we just kind of hit it off there and he made me a lot better and Maddox is a heck of a right fielder. Right, he got a lot better since freshman year. He built that confidence up over the years, and he started hitting the ball well. And back to the mindset, he used to get down on himself, and me and the coaches got pulled him off to the side one day and told him, "Hey, you're all right. It happens. Just let it go and move on." And ever since that, he started getting better and helping the team a lot. He grew, that's for sure.
And McFarland, I mean, I should have mentioned him too. I mean, he's a solid guy. He plays shortstop mostly, correct?
Yeah, he does. Yesterday he struggled a little bit on the mound, but he got over it and helped the team out at short and hit the ball really well. Had a double or two, I think. And yeah, his he's growing. He's growing. His mindset needs a little help, like getting over things. But he's young. That'll come with experience. He didn't pitch many games last year, and yesterday was the first time this season that he pitched in a game. But he's doing really well as a sophomore. And Max behind the plate, man, he's fun to play with. He's always upbeat and having fun and always smiling. And he's an awesome guy to have behind the plate because he works hard.
I was going to say he seems like the perfect mentality for a catcher.
Oh yeah, he loves it back. I asked him the other day, "Do you like catching?" Because I know people that hate catching. He's like, "No, I love catching. It's so fun."
Yeah, you're going to have bruises all over you all year long if you're a catcher, though. You got to be used to that too. I mean,
oh yeah.
He looks like he can handle it, though.
Oh yeah, he gets over it.
What do you guys hope you can accomplish this year? I mean, you had a really great run last year through the tournament. Really, I was there for that game against Canterbury. I really felt like you guys were going to take that. But I mean, is it basically you just want to go another step further? I mean, what are you looking at?
Well, first we want to win conference, and we're focused on that right now. Caston was our biggest competitor in that. But, yeah, we would love to make it past regional and hopefully get to state. But it's one step at a time. We're trying to get conference first.
Let's talk about you a little bit. You have family, I'm sure. What are your mom and dad's names?
My mom's Diane Kaufman, and my dad's Calvin Kaufman.
Now, do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have an older brother named Jordan and a younger sister named Lexi. I'm actually at her game right now, and she's doing pretty well.
How's she doing? She got a few hits?
Yeah, she has a few hits, yep.
How old is she?
She's a freshman.
Oh, so softball. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yep.
So it's softball season. How about your older brother? Did he play?
He played some baseball, but he hurt his shoulder, and he's more of a worker. He was done with baseball after his sophomore year and went homeschooled for his last year, but then he got straight into the workforce.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing to do these days. I mean, you can make a lot of money that way. I got 3 kids that did the same thing, just went straight to work after high school. And how about you? Do you have plans to go to college, or do you want to just go straight to work?
I was hoping to make it to college. I went and applied to Grace and toured their campus, and I'm trying to get a hold of the Grace College coach, but it's hard because they're in season.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to keep up with the team and everything. But yeah, I would love to go to Grace, but if college doesn't work out, I'm probably going to go straight to the workforce.
I'm assuming you want to play ball in college too.
Oh yeah, I would love to play baseball in college.
Do you have a favorite subject in school?
Probably business management. I'm trying to take over the family farm in a couple of years, and
Okay.
I would love to go for a business side so I can know that side of the business better.
Well, if you got a family farm, you got to know science and everything. You got to know everything if you're a
Yeah,
farmer.
yeah,
Mechanics, engineering. I mean, you got to have the full plate.
yeah. You gotta have a mind for it. That's for sure.
You enjoy farming?
What was that?
Do you enjoy farming?
Oh yeah, that's what I want to do when I have enough money for it. That's my dream.
Have your own farm apart from the other
I don't.
family farm?
Yeah, I actually want to take the family farm over and
Okay.
grow that because I would be the third or fourth generation
Wow.
on it.
Yeah, that's cool too. That is cool. Well, man, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I'll let you get back to your sister's game here, and congratulations on the award. And I'm sure we're going to run into each other a couple more times before you're done there.
Oh yeah, we will.
That is
I'm sure of that.
That is Braxton Kaufman from Triton, our Tony the Boss Ross Athlete of the Week. And stay right there. This segment, Mark Elliott, the head baseball coach at Triton, joins us. By the time we're playing this, you're probably on a bus halfway to where's Royal Center for Pioneer. But talk about this a little bit because your conference schedule is a little strange. You got a double header today, correct?
Yep, that's correct. So the way that our conference works is we do 2 games against each team, and usually they're consecutive days. So this last week we played North Judson Monday, Tuesday, and then we go to play that doubleheader on the Saturday, and then a couple days off, and we'll play another conference game Thursday, Friday next week, and then it kind of cycles back through that again. So I think the idea is you can't just win the conference with one pitcher, and so I like that. It kind of levels the playing field a little bit. Definitely in game 2, you got to get into that second or third, fourth pitcher even sometimes. So it makes it a little bit more interesting than some conferences where you play everybody with your number ones and just go at it.
I kind of like the idea of the back-to-back nights, but I'm thinking this is an interesting situation for you because if you got 2 games in one day, I mean, you usually have a 12, 24 hours to if something goes wrong, you can, have that off time, but you're going to have about 20 minutes if that game 1 isn't what you want it to be to regroup and come back after it.
Yeah, that's true. It's an interesting dynamic and refocusing the kids after game 1 or keeping the focus. Sometimes it's just as hard. After a good win. I mean, last year we were in the same boat. We beat Pioneer first game pretty convincingly. Thought we were just going to cruise in game 2 and then lost 7-2 or something like that. So it is tough. And the kids, I mean, it's a long day for the kids to play a doubleheader ever, especially when we're getting to school at 8 o'clock a.m. for BP. And who knows when we'll get back, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yeah, it's a long day. It does kind of help for smaller schools like us with pitch counts because if we bring a guy in to throw 2 innings, he can still pitch that second game of the doubleheader. So there's good and bad with it, definitely. But yeah, it's a unique situation a little bit for a conference being doubleheader like that.
Your team, though, is kind of set up for this kind of a thing. I mean, you're 1-2 on the mound. I mean, I don't know if there's a better one maybe in this county, maybe in this region with Bingaman and Kaufman. They're both having great years already. They've both proven themselves over the last few years. You got to feel really good about where you're at with those 2 guys at the top of your rotation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And they've carried us the last couple of years, and we know when they're in a game, it's going to be a competitive game no matter who we're playing. And they both pitched the Northwood game. You kind of saw that there. So they're going to carry us for sure. It's my job to make sure that we get that number 3, number 4, number 5 pitcher submitting. It's hard to sometimes because I just want to keep those guys out there and let them just keep doing their thing. But, yeah, look into the future. We got to keep developing those guys behind them. And I really like where we're at behind them, too. We've got a couple of guys that I think next year you're going to be shocked that we just didn't really drop off. We just picked up where we left off with we've got on the mound. So
I was going to say you got at least 2 or 3 sophomores that are going to pick it. I know McFarland had a rough outing the other night, but I had a chance to talk to Braxton. He was our player of the week, and he said, "Man, that doesn't bother us. He's going to pick it up real quick."
yeah,
It was just an off
that's the
night,
thing.
and you have those.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this team and these kids too. Like Braxton having the full confidence in Levi to turn it around. They're all in it together, and you couldn't ask for a better team and team atmosphere than we have right now. And he's absolutely right. Levi will turn it around. He kind of started last year a little bit slow, and he was one of the guys on the basketball team that went to state, so he had a late start a little bit. Just struggled with the strike zone. He went right back out there a couple days later, and he pitched that North Judson game and pitched a lot better already. So we have confidence in him. He's one of the guys. He's a little banged up right now. Jammed a finger in a game on Monday, so he didn't end up playing on Tuesday. So we'll probably need him on Saturday. Let's hope he's doing okay tomorrow or today, I guess, when this airs. But yeah, hopefully he'll be back. I don't think it's anything too serious, but yeah, he's one of the guys behind Drew and Braxton that we like a lot.
And then obviously he didn't take it to the plate with him because he's on fire at the plate.
Yep, and he's in our 2-hole, which has been really good. That was something coming into the season that we were like, okay, we like Drew in the leadoff because he's quick and can steal a base when he gets on, and we just kind of wanted to space out those power hitters behind him. Braxton had 13 hits last year, or 13 doubles last year, sorry. So we kind of wanted to get a guy in between those two. Last year they were batting back-to-back most games, and Levi's been a very pleasant surprise there in that 2-hole.
Looking at your roster too, it looks like you've got a really good mix of really good, solid veteran players to help these sophomores. For example, Levi, just let it go. It's done. We'll get better next time. But I mean, we haven't even mentioned Maddox Denny yet, and those 3 guys at the top. That leadership has got to be really important too.
It is, definitely. And going back to their freshman year and the development that they've put in and where they've come from their freshman year, I think that actually helps them be a better leader because they know that the work that they're putting in is going to pay off. So they communicate that to the younger guys, and they learn that work ethic from them, even though they haven't had those rough years like Jefferson Austin had. And Maddox is a great leader, too, and they're all fun to be around. And, yeah, just a fun team.
I'm going to mention at least one more guy here because he's a guy that from last year, I loved watching him play, is Max Johnson, your guy behind the plate. And he was just a freshman a year ago. He looks like he has the absolute perfect mentality for a catcher.
I was not surprised that you said Max Johnson. You can't have a segment like this and name all these guys and leave him out of it. Yeah, he's the perfect leader behind the plate. He's really starting to come into his own a little bit, too, with taking command of the defense. Last year, he was a little bit timid. Obviously, the skills are there, the talent's there, the freshman numbers. I think he hit 350 or something. I mean, maybe more than that last year. So he's hitting in our 4-hole right behind Braxton. So, yeah, the talent's there. The mentality is great. He's tough as nails. I think he squats 550 pounds. Like, it's insane. He's a sophomore. Like, it's hard to remind myself sometimes that I'm dealing with sophomores here. They seem like grown men some of the time. But, Max, he's a great leader, too, for a sophomore. Picking up what these seniors are putting out for him.
Let's talk about your start. I mean, you have your schedule, Northwood and Caston twice in those first 4 games. So 3 of those first 4 are traditionally some of the best teams around, and you've handled that really well. You got to feel positive about the way you started this year.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to like my answer here. We had one inning that got away from us, and our start would look even more impressive. We gave up 9 runs in the 6th inning to Caston in that 11-7 loss. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm very happy. The Northwood game was a great start. We kind of went in there just being like, hey, we're going to play really hard and see where the chips fall, and they kind of helped us out a little bit with some walks and gave us a couple of runs. We took advantage of that, and played pretty well defensively and pitched well. So came away from that with a win, and I think that just kind of gave us the confidence to keep going. We then didn't play for 8 days, so I get nervous for like the first game of the season. I get nervous for the tournament games. I got re-nervous all over again for the casting games because it was so long in between those. But they worked. They took that win. They didn't take it for granted, and they came back to practice every day knowing, hey, we're just going to keep getting a little bit better today and go out and compete against a good casting team who's probably going to end up somewhere at the top of the conference with us. So splitting with them was good. I want that one inning back, and we told the guys midnight rule, let it go at midnight and get back to work tomorrow. But for me, it's been a couple of midnights, and I'm still holding on to that.
You got a killer coming up, though. I mean, along with your conference schedule, you got Plymouth in there, you've got Bremen in there, Wawasee in there, NLCT Laville, Mishawaka Marion. I mean, you got a lot of tests all along the way here.
Yep, and the end of our season it's Wawasee. We're in that CMA Invitational, so CMA we played Boone Grove in the first game. Lewis Cass is in that tournament, and then it's Laville. We play that at Fort Westfield, so that's going to be really fun. We have Marion leading into the sectional. So that was kind of by design. We wanted those tough teams there at the end to kind of get us ready for a tough run into the tournament. And hopefully we can go deep and have those tough teams stay off later on down the road.
How do you feel about where you're at? I mean, you feel you're where you want to be as you head into that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're only 5 games in, so it's hard to judge, but obviously with the 4-1 start, we just had a former player come out to our last game, our 4th win, and I told him, hey, remember when we only won 4 games in a season your sophomore year? He's like, oh yeah, I do. So credit to them and credit to the work they put in and all that stuff. So keeping in mind where we've been and where we've come so far so quickly, feeling really good about starting the year 4-1.
Well, man, good luck to you today as you get out there in Pioneer, and we'll be in touch here down the road.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
That is Mark Elliott, the head coach at Triton, and we will be right back. And joining us is Brian Hammond, the head softball coach at Plymouth. You got to be really pleased about the way things are going so far this year. Seems that things are starting to click.
Yeah, we got some girls we're moving around in the lineup. Defensively, it should hopefully make us a little stronger, which is really what we need, right? A couple base hits get scooped past the outfielders, and we're chasing it, and we clean that kind of stuff up. And we're in every game.
I was going to say, the bats kind of came alive the other night. I mean, not a ton of hits, but they were all very crucial.
Yeah, I think we only mustered up 10 hits on Triton. You kind of wanted to see more off of pitching like that. But we executed a few things well. A couple bunts went down that we wanted to execute. And seeing them be aggressive and taking advantage of errors is something you want to see. I always tell them, when your opponent's making a mistake, don't interrupt them. So we did that well, and we made the routine plays better that we needed to make, and we're just going to continue to get better, I think.
That was the other thing that I noticed too. I mean, just one error on the night, and that one was late in the game, and it's easy to let your mind wander a little bit in a situation like that. But you made plays you had to make.
Yeah, that error. It's one of those things where when you're up, 20 runs, it's you get a little, your mind starts to wander, and you just get a little lazy and a little lackadaisical. But if that would have been a closer game where that would have been a clutch play, I Lily probably would have came up with it.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, you gotta love efforts where you see your shortstop and your third baseman both diving at a ball, So, it was good.
I was going to say, Lily, I mean, 9 times out of 10, she makes that play. It was just one of those moments. And it wasn't like she wasn't producing. I mean, she had a heck of a night at the plate.
Yeah. What was that? 2 singles, a double. No, 2 singles, a triple. And, Yeah. So yeah, her bat's been going crazy early on, so that's good. And you say 9 out of 10, it's 99 out of 100. She
Yes,
makes
I
that
agree
play.
with
So
you.
it's
Yeah.
it's like a 1% chance she doesn't make that play. So
Um, and you mentioned Chloe, your shortstop. I mean, she seems to be kind of getting used to that situation.
yeah, Chloe gets better every single day. She's a sponge. So whenever we give her knowledge, she absorbs it. She tries to do exactly what we tell her to do. And she's not afraid to get after it. Like, she's aggressive with it. So yeah, Chloe has been great. She's a huge asset for us.
The girl I have been really impressed with for the last 2 years is your third baseman, Lexi Pike. I think is a really good player.
She is. She has a cannon for an arm. She gets us out of jams. You think, "Ooh, we don't have a chance," but her arm just digs us out. And she's super aggressive. So when she does make solid contact at the plate, it's not like base hits; it's lasers. They're missiles, and she's launching stuff. Like, when it goes somewhere, it's there in
Yeah.
a hurry. So when she hits a gapper, you don't have a shot. So
That's the thing that I've noticed about her. The times I've seen her play is that she's a good hitter and a solid. She makes contact almost all the time.
yeah, I don't. It's not very often she strikes out. So when she's putting the ball in play, she is tough to get out just because the ball's on you fast. So unless she hits it right at you, she's a tough out. So I would like to see a few more hits out of her, but it's really early, so we're still just gaining traction. Still, this rain, this
Oh
rain
yeah.
has really messed with a lot of our schedules. So we would have liked to have more games, but um, we have what we have, and we're making the best of it.
I think you answered my next question a little bit. I mean, you had a few days of practice here. I'm sure there were some things on the checklist that you wanted to get taken care of, some things you wanted to clean up. Have you had a chance to work on those, and what were they? I mean, obviously, you haven't. The rain has been horrible.
Yeah, the biggest one was we wanted to really get and hammer in to some outfielders' heads that we got to stay in front of the ball. We can't be chasing base hits to the fence and giving extra bases up, because those runs end up getting plated. So we were outside after the Triton game, and no, that was Wednesday, wasn't it?
Uh,
So it was a Monday. The Monday
yeah.
was the only day we had practice. That's right, because we played Triton on Tuesday. Knox was supposed to be Wednesday, which shouldn't have got canceled, but got canceled. But that probably doesn't need to be on the air. But anyway, Monday, no, we were outside, and we just set up what we were going to do with the outfielders, and I was working with the first baseman, and I looked up, I saw the lightning, I checked my phone, and we had to go inside. So,
Wow.
and it's really hard to fix outfield things on a gym floor or in a confined space. So, we haven't been outside since the Triton game. So, yeah, we're just gonna try to use the Taylor game and the John Glenn game to hopefully, because we got 3 straight now, right? So,
Right.
Tuesday is the next chance we get to fix things. So we got to identify him in the next 3 games. So hopefully we don't make too many mistakes against Mishawaka coming up on Monday, and take care of business, and then get a chance to fix those things.
Well, the good news is you got 2 games in front of Mishawaka, and that becomes weird. I would imagine in your mindset of how you approach this with your team too, because Mishawaka is a conference game. You almost have to use the next 2 games as practice because the conference game is the one you really want to make sure you take care of.
Yeah, and we talked about it as coaches about the lineup going into Mishawaka. We really want to have something solidified by Mishawaka, because that is a conference game, and those hold some weight, because that's when all conference
Yeah.
stats start, and you want to make sure that your girls have the best chance to be all conference players, and you want to give your team the best chance to win a conference championship and do all those things. So Glenn will be a good test. They're very strong. I've been impressed with their stat sheet so far. You would have thought maybe with Tim graduating that they might take a half step back and maybe have to grow a little bit with the young girls they got. But holy cow, I mean, that coach, he's doing a fantastic job over there. And he's got his team ready to play. So we're going to have to be ready to play. But it'll be a good test for us going into the Mishawaka game. I think, if we're competitive in that game, then we should be competitive in the Mishawaka game. So, it's test. I mean, it's nice with the, I keep going back to it, but it's nice. We got the 2 pitchers. So, and Sunday for rest in between. So that should help keep us in both of those games, which is good for us.
I want to talk about Glenn a little bit more in a minute. I want to go and talk about your pitchers. And I, in my mind, I have to feel like you feel really good about where you are in the circle simply because, you've been around this game a long time. It's the same in baseball. Pitching determines where you go. And man, Gracie she was on the other night.
Yeah. When either of those girls are on, they're very hard to hit or they're very hard to hit well. And if we get or figure out that umpire zone early, they become even more deadly, right? Because then we can abuse it.
Yes.
So it's a matter of for them communication for Kendall behind the plate with the umpire. Was that a bit outside? Where was that? And to do it in a way that's professional.
Yeah.
So if Kendall can communicate for us with them, and so we're not, because the last thing we want to do is yell from a dugout at an umpire because then it just makes it worse. So communicate that back to the pitchers, in-game strategy and in-game changes. Like one night, I don't think Gracie's screwball was working very well, so we just stayed away from it and we attacked a different pitch, and that worked. And the fact that they both have multiple pitches they can throw that they can use to attack with. Gracie pulled out her changeup the other night against Triton, and it was on, which you saw was its deadly pitch. Ivy's rise ball can be very deceiving when it's on. It's about figuring out, who's on. And if one has an off start and we don't want to get too far in the hole, we'll just make the switch. It's not a problem. So, it's fantastic to have.
Yeah, you make me feel good. You're the only other coach I've ever heard talk about using that first inning to figure out where the umpire's strike zone is and then pounding it. I mean, I always thought that was smart, but I mean, it's different every night. You got to figure out where it is and then go after it.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's at least one umpire I know. She'll give you 4 to 5 inches off the outside corner of the plate, and if it's there, I mean, take it, because what happens to the other team? They get rung up on a called strike 3 looking on a pitch they think is outside. Right. She's calling. We're going to hammer that until they start swinging at it because they're just going to keep getting mad. It's outside. It's outside. Yeah. Well, sorry, she's calling it. We're going to pitch it there. You better figure out how to foul it off or we're going to strike you out a bunch more times. So, and then what's great is what I really like to do, and I don't know if other coaches listen, but, I like to get the hitter's eyes focused in on one spot.
Yeah.
So we'll attack low, and then rise ball will bring you high. And then, because you're thinking low, and the next thing you know, it's up in your eyeball. So, or we'll, there's times where I've thrown, 3 or 4 rise balls in a row, and then boom, hit them with a drop ball or a screwball, break their knees with it. So, location, and whatever the umpire is giving you, you take it and you run with it. And that's, we gotta pitch to the umpire strike zone, because that's how we get more strikes. That's how we get ahead in the count. And when you're ahead in the count, then you get them to chase, and that's what we want them to do. So, that's a huge strategy to use. Yeah,
I always love it. Guys come back to the dugout and say, that wasn't a strike. Well, it is today, son. You better swing the bat. So, they're not going to change for you. You better adjust to them.
Famous word, you never leave it up to an umpire on strike 3. Yeah. I don't swing at that strike 1 or strike 2, but when you got 2 strikes on you and he's calling it, you got to find a way to foul it off and give yourself a better look. I mean, that's basic knowledge to me. Yep. So it's just part of that softball IQ that we got to have.
Let's talk about the matchup for Saturday. This looks like a classic to me. I mean, you mentioned their stats. I mean, they're averaging like what, 15 runs a game. They've scored 20 twice already. One of them on Concord. They got a bunch of people that are just really swinging the bat. On the other hand, your two pitchers, your guys can deal with that. It's a rematch of the sectional final from a year ago. This is going to be a really fun game, I think, for me.
Yeah. I mean, 20 runs on Concord that's blowing my mind. So, I checked their Rochester score. I was really interested in to see what they did against LaPorte, but they got rained out. I've been keeping my eye on Glenn because they're kind of a wild card in our sectional, and it did feel like a rivalry game last year for the sectionals, and we got them early in the year. We got that seventh inning on them, and you could tell they were. And I told the girls going in that sectional game, hey, they're not just going to let us beat them again. We're going to have to go out and earn it tonight. And it's just one of those nights where it's a close game. We felt weird being in our dugout, but being the visitors on the scoreboard, and they played very well, and Tim was a great pitcher, but yeah, their bats this year, they're on fire. So it's going to be up to our pitchers to keep them off balance, make them swing at our pitches so that they're not crushing the ball out to the outfield. And if we can do that, obviously we're going to be in the game. Just scratch off a few runs here or there, apply pressure. Hopefully they make a few errors and take advantage. And yes, I think the game should be very good. I mean, there's a chance that we go out and play bad and they put it on us, or they may have a bad day and we put it on them. But it should be, it feels like a rivalry now. So we got to be ready.
Well, man, I want to thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. And we will see you on Saturday.
All right. Sounds good.
That's Brian Hammond, the head coach of Plymouth Softball. We'll be right back. And the head coach of the John Glenn Lady Falcons softball team, Brian Laskowski, joins me, man. It was a rough night last night. I know you guys were supposed to play, but it didn't happen, I don't think, for anybody.
No, it didn't happen for us either. We got all set up. I got the field line. We took a batting practice real quick after school, got all dressed up, ready to go, and got down there just before 5 o'clock and ready to take an infield, and it kind of let loose. So they came down and told us about a little lightning. So we're going to take a break for a minute and take cover. And then it poured for about 20 minutes straight. And they ended up calling it. And then the sun came back out and stuff. But I still think it was the correct decision. And we had a soft field and stuff like that. So we're actually going to battle battle LaVille tonight in our first conference game. So it'll be a good one on a Friday night here, and probably sneak through and get the JV done under the lights.
I was going to say, that starting and stopping this time of year is got to be a little bit rough. I mean, you get all fired up, ready to go, and then, okay, we're going home.
Yeah, it is. It is. Believe it or not, we've won a few games here and lost one in that triangular. We played on it, but we haven't played a home game yet. So we won a sectional last year, came back and got all excited. We got a new field put in for us, not a complete new field, but new stadium seating, new backstops, new netting, new everything like that. Got lights ready to go on it, and we haven't played a home game yet. We've been canceled on 5 times now. So I'm like, come on, man. Girls are excited. They're chomping at the bit. My announcer's got a whole write-up written up, hey, thanking the construction and thanking this, ready to get going. And now the rain's holding us back. Not even to do with construction. The rain's holding us back on it. So yeah, as I told the girls last night, or as they were talking about last night, take your bat home one more night, charge it again, and we'll be ready to rip tomorrow.
Well, let's talk about that tournament you're in. You took a loss in that, but other than that one little blip, you've been going great guns. It looks like.
Yeah, we have been. We've got a lot of girls that have stepped up and hit the ball real well so far. It is non-conference, like we always talk about that, but we play some tough non-conference teams. So, but we've got, Peyton Thomas has hit a home run just about in every game. We've got Mia Wilton hit a home run the other night. Addie Mannering hit her very first home run the other night. Then I got 4 or 5 girls still batting 600. So yeah, we've hit the ball really well about it. As I preached that through the other coaches and through our team this year, we depended on Mackenzie Tim last year. We're dependent on a few freshmen this year and a junior pitcher that, are going to find spots where they hit and miss, or where nerves get into them, or where we find a team that can hit as well as we can. So I just been, pushing and pushing and pushing. Hit the ball hard. Hit it. I don't care where you send it. Just hit it hard somewhere. And so most of them are like, okay, we'll take that challenge. So we've got a 9 or 10 girl batting lineup right now that multiple ones hit the ball hard. I've got 2 or 3 more girls that aren't even in the lineup that are still hitting really well at practice and kind of looking for a shot or looking for an opportunity on it. But some of the other girls that I've got up in the lineup, I'm not going to say this lightly yet, but they haven't failed yet. They haven't failed. I've got a few strikeouts here and there, but that comes along with the game. But they haven't failed enough where I'm willing to switch a stick here. Yeah, so I got other girls that are juniors and stuff that are chomping at the bit ready to play. But I'm going to give the older, not even the older girls, but the little bit talented and everything that we have to offer it with a stronger lineup, I'm going to give them a few more chances and a few more errors before I switch the sticks around. But, yeah, we've hit the ball real well so far this season.
I'm just it's gaudy how well the least amount of runs you scored in a game is 9. You scored over 20 twice. I mean, that is a level that at any level of baseball or softball, it's unbelievable.
Yes, you're exactly right. In both of them games, I will take a little bit of pride on it as a team, and I've taught them from this growing up as I've been coaching through the seasons. We scored 21 on Triton, or 21 and 22, and then against Concord the other night. But I will also tell you, in the Concord game, I gave them 2 outs. We walked off the bases twice. In the Triton game, we walked off the bases in multiple different innings. I'm not afraid to beat somebody or go out and prove your point on whether your sticks are hitting well or whatever it is if you're working on different stuff. And I've always respected coaches that walk up to me and say, hey, I got a girl close to a record. I'm sorry if we put a few extra runs on her. Or I'm sorry if I try to do this and it seems a little bit cocky over some stuff. And I've always respected coaches that have done that to me, and I've returned the favor and done that, some of them. But no, and then I always look at other people's records. When you play a not so strong a team, as if you want to call it, or a non-conference team that doesn't have quite the ability that you're bringing into it, you can look at their other records. Now, if they come in here and they get beat 5-4 and 5-2 a couple different times, I'm not going to go out and score 25 on them. I'm not that kind of guy. But in the same breath, if they, and I shouldn't take to say this like this, but if they've taken their pound in a few different times and this and that, well, then I'm going to work on other stuff too. I'm going to bunt the ball more. I'm going to make them make plays, and I'm going to do that for that. But I have no problem walking off bases. I'm not the guy that's going to run it up on them. So when somebody sees a 21-2 score, hopefully they don't take it as, oh man, Glenn just walked out there and pounded it and did this and did that. No, there was some strategic stuff behind it. We had second, third, 1 out, so I bunt the ball, and I want to make them make plays. Now, if they make an error, I'm going to take advantage of it. If they do this, I'm going to take advantage of it. But I'm not just going to go out there and every girl's going to hit the ball every single chance they got. And then when I, as a coach, or have the other coach do it as well, we walk off bases, I feel bad to a point for having girls do that, because that hurts their on-base percentage, and that hurts different stuff on their stats when I'm like, hey, you walk it off the base. So they're taking it out for their team to show a little bit of respect and a little bit of class. But in the same breath, it does hurt their stats sometimes. But I've taught it that way since they were little. Most of them know that. I do it strategically on how I'm going to do this. Okay, I'll get the girl over to third in case we get a stolen base here or there. I'll let the girl get those stats. But at third, I'll have her walk off at third so we don't score an extra run on them.
I was going to say, that is that's a weird position to be in, and I've always felt like I've been on, as a coach and a player, on the I got 21 runs scored on me side. I've also been on the other side of it too, where I've scored that. And you can't teach a team to back off, because once you get used to that becomes something you just can't turn it on and off. So
you're exactly right.
And the other part of it to me is if you're emptying your bench like you're supposed to, some of those girls, that might be the only time they get into a varsity game. How can you tell them not to play hard? I mean, it's a weird thing.
Absolutely. We've done that multiple different times where you got a couple girls on base and you'll give somebody else a stick that's sitting in the dugout, hasn't swung a bat in a little while in a game. So you give her a chance, she comes up and hits the ball to the fence. So what do? Do you give them one base at a time so you hold her stats back on her, or do you put 2 or 3 more runs on her and let her get her double that she earned on it? You know what I mean? So it is a different situation to be in. And like you just mentioned, I've been on both ends too. Trust me, we've taken our thumpings. We've taken our thumpings growing up. I've taken them by different teams and different places and different stuff and stuff like that. But also, as us coming back as winning the sectionals last year and they moving forth this year and kind of, being competitive in the conference and winning a bunch of games at the beginning and stuff like that to start, you got to teach a team to win also. So teach a team to win. You can win by 1 or 2 and still have that considered a win, even though if it was a tough game, or even though if it could have been a little lopsided, but we took a weaker lineup at it. You could teach them how to win that way. Or you can go out and beat somebody by 30 and teach it. That doesn't really teach somebody how to win. That teaches somebody how to embarrass them and pound on them and this and that. Right. And that doesn't really help you as a class and teach kids to be better role models and better stuff like that on it. But you can teach them how to win also. So, hey, we're going to go into this a little bit weaker because we got a better chance of doing this, but I'm not going to let it get out of control. I've taken several games like that. Okay, the girls are excited. We're going to walk all over this team or whatever it is. And I'm like, Well, yeah, but I'm gonna manipulate that a little bit because I'm gonna change the lineup. I'm gonna make you girls earn it. Somehow you're gonna earn it. So somebody else is gonna have to step up here. Now I'm not gonna go into the 5th inning, be it down by 1 on a team we should beat by 10. So then I will make some changes and come out so we can somehow come out with a win.
Sure.
But in the same breath, I'm teach them how to win and teach them how to have a little class on it. Goes a long ways.
Well, we've already talked about your team's .451 batting average and the runs you've scored. Let's talk about your pitching a little bit because and I know that, once you get down into those tournament games, that's where most of them are won or lost. How do you feel about your girls on the mound?
Pretty well right now, to be honest with you. Lexi Balger came in and she's started a few different games, and she's pitched well, as I kind of expected her to be. She is our junior coming in, following Mackenzie Tim for a few years, so she didn't see a ton of rubber time last couple of years, but this year she's picking it up a little bit more, and she's improved, and she's great at locating the ball and done well for us. And then we got Emma Thomas, who came in, who's a freshman this year, who's got a little more speed than Lexi does and a little bit more control here and there. And she's probably going to come back and be our ace for a few different games that we need some key plays on and key wins on and stuff like that. We're probably going to throw her a little bit more often. But I think she's knocked the nerves off it. I can't say she was ever rusty because she's still young and being a freshman, but I think she's knocked the nerves off it. A few of the first games, she never once said it to me. She never once totally showed it, but she just had some freshman fears, So she came in and was a little bit nervous. But as we went out, she gave up a run or two, whether it was in the 1st or 2nd inning. But if we put on 8 or 10, her nerves obviously go away in that aspect. So we need to get that coming in the top of the 1st inning when, we're the home team or something like that. Have her come in at the top of the 1st inning and be confident walking in there with what she does. And that's kind of what Mick Lizzie's one of my pitching coaches and done great with her and done great on that of, hey, you got to be confident with what you do. So from the time they say your name and after before the national anthem and stuff, that's when I become confident. I turn it on right there as a competitor, and I'm ready to go. As soon as they say this, I'm ready to play right now. So whoever it is, whoever steps in the box, I'm ready to pitch to them because I'm confident what I do. Now, if they hit the ball, that's okay. I got 7 girls behind me. We're okay. So, but yeah, it's done well for us. And then we got Mia Wilton, who's also another freshman. She pitched she's pitched JV games for us and pitched a couple innings in the varsity level for us. She's got an amazing bat. She was very well coached growing up and stuff like that. So she's coming in and pitching more often for us a little bit. She will see some more time as the season goes on as well.
I was going to say, it's got to help a young pitching staff that your offense is that good because they get some wiggle room. They know they don't have to throw a shutout every night to get a win.
Yes. We had that triangular last weekend at Rochester and Pioneer, and Emma came out first game and actually ended up hitting like 3 girls. And I'm like, hey, you can walk them. You just can't hit them. Hitting them doesn't give our defense a chance. If you walk them, that means they earned it. That means they watched 4 pitches go by. That means they earned it as a batter. Something else happened. You messed up 4 times in a row. But if you just walk out there and hit them, you don't give anybody a chance here. Come on. So as she's done that got a little nerves on her. Then she's adapted well from there. I don't think she's hit a girl since that day. So she's, as we've pushed into it, hey, make them use the stick. Make them use the bat. We got good defense behind you. They're going to hit the ball. There's not too many girls that go out there and pitch a perfect game. There's not too many that go out and pitch a no-hitter. So go ahead and let them hit the ball. Let's not put meatballs down the middle of the plate, but let's go ahead and let them hit it, and we'll make plays because I'm confident what we do. And if we don't make some plays, then our sticks are going to have to rebound for it. And so far this season, they've done that. Our sticks have rebounded for it. Our defense has played pretty well as well, but our pitching has stepped up quite a bit, and then where it hasn't, our bats have improved and taken over for it.
And I can't let you go without talking about Emma's older sister, Peyton. I mean, you played 4 games. She's got 3 home runs. She's got 8 RBIs. I mean, her batting average is .529, and based on what I saw last year with her numbers, those are actually a little low. I mean, that's amazing. She's that kind of a player.
They might be a little low at this time because we played a little less games, but I'll tell you, she had 15 home runs last night in batting practice, so she's ready to go. so yeah, she doesn't come out. Hitting home runs, I shouldn't say comes natural for her, but it comes natural for her. She hits the ball hard all the time. She's got a great eye at the plate, stuff like that. I think she's got 1 strikeout this year, but she's got a great eye at the plate. So she does hit home runs a lot of times, but she's, I've just taught her from her freshman year. There's not a ton of coaching that we've went into her on it, a lot of different stuff besides strategic stuff. Hitting wise, we've let her hit the ball. I just tell her when I pitch to her all the time, I'm like, hey, just see it off the bat. Watch this thing bounce off the bat. there's not much here I could teach you. You're doing amazing. You're doing great. We could tweak a few things here and there on whatever it is, but just see the ball, just see it, watch it go. Now, she's also a good 2-strike hitter. She'll get 2 strikes on her and obviously adapt to, hey, I'm not, this don't have to be a home run. I just got to put the ball in play here, make them make plays, find a gap somewhere. She's smart enough. She can find gaps everywhere and stuff like that. So, but, walking up there with a 0-0 count or come into a 2-0 count or a 3-1 count with her, it's hang on, because she's going to get something that they're going to find a strike and she's going to give it a ride.
Well, and let's make the point too. She's the complete package. She hasn't made an error yet either. So
no, she's playing first base for us. She transferred from shortstop over to first base for them this year, and she's done great over there. She knows the game really well. She's on that side of the field with Sophia Lizzie, who's also a lead captain on our team, and so they communicate all the time. And between those two, they're communicating through the whole field. Yeah, she hasn't made an error. She's done. We've played great defenses as we have this year as well. We've given up a few runs here and there, but overall, we've got quite a few girls that haven't made an error yet, or got 1 error on their book so far. But yeah, she's played great over there at first base and adapted real well, and never mentioned a word about it. Our first baseman actually was my daughter last year. She graduated and went on, so we're like, okay, let's find a first baseman here. We got a couple different girls here we could try out during winter workouts, and Peyton just kind of fit the role real well. And took it to heart and never questioned anything. Just said, "Yep, I'll play wherever. Just let me play." So we stuck her over at first base, and she's done really well there.
Yeah, just don't take the bat out of my hands, Coach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I know you got Louisville tonight, but we're recording this early. We're going to have this on for our pregame for Plymouth. I mean, this is going to be an interesting game. It's a rematch of last year's sectional final. 2 teams that got a lot of good players. I haven't seen your pitching yet. Theirs may be just a little bit better, but your hitting is. I mean, this is just a great matchup this early in the year.
Yes, this is going to be a great game for us, like you said, in the rematch of the sectional and stuff like that. Mick Lizzie does a ton of research behind the scenes and a ton of different stuff, and in every game he's been he's been confident every game, but he's been very well correct on a lot of them too. Walking into it, hey, Concord, hey, they got this 1 or 2 girls here. We'll be totally fine. We're going to hit the ball good. Okay, this game over here, Rochester, we got to watch this girl and this girl and this girl. And then he comes to me last night and he's like, man, I'm not overlooking LaVille, but Plymouth's gonna be tough there. Plymouth, they got some sticks here. We got to talk about this. We're gonna talk about this after a win Thursday night, because we were talking about playing last night. But we're gonna talk about this after a win Thursday night about Plymouth, because we got to talk about this. So I'm not saying he's nervous about it at all or going into it, but he's done his research, and yeah, they're a well coached team, and they got quite a few stacks up there that can come up with us, and it's gonna be a competitive game, and I'm excited for it. I'm the competitive type of guy, and yeah, I'm excited for it, and I got all the faith in the world in us that we come out and play like we normally play. We should be totally fine. But in the same breath, they got a lot of talent out there, a lot of time going into those girls, and they've improved greatly also.
Well, man, I want to thank you for taking the time, and good luck to you today. Or actually, good luck to you today and tomorrow.
Yeah, play LaVille tonight.
and if not before, we'll see you on Saturday.
All right, perfect. I appreciate the time.
That is Brian Laskowski, the head coach at John Glenn. Ryan Wolf joins me, head coach of the Plymouth Pilgrims. Want to bring you in. You're doing something different this weekend. You're headed to Michigan probably as soon as we get off the phone, huh?
Yeah, we are. One of my players had a connection with the summer team up there, and they asked if we want to come up and play. And yeah, we're actually not going tomorrow now. On Saturday, we'll not be there. They the amount of rain that they've gotten and are supposed to get tonight, they wound up canceling Saturday. So we are going up Friday night and playing at Edwardsburg against Edwardsburg. So yeah, ought to be they're a good program. I know New Prairie's played them already, and something different. I'm always looking for new teams to play, just to give the kids experiences of where they've been, and just to see. I mean, the baseball in Michigan's no different than the baseball in Indiana. So should be fun. Should be a fun night.
That kind of harkens back, gives me nostalgia. When I was in high school, we used to play a home and home every summer with Team in Buchanan. So and they used to play clay. They would come down and play all of us in the northern half, and then we go up and see them. So that's kind of cool, I think, that you guys are doing that.
Yeah, we where I'm from is the northeast corner of Indiana. So I by Angola. So we would play Eden and Edgerton. We'd also play Coldwater and some other schools in Michigan as well. So yeah, it's kind of cool when you live in an area and they're able to do that. And when they ask if we wanted to, and Yeah, not too far a drive. I think it's about 55 minutes drive up there, which not too much different from our NLC schools. So
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your week this week. I mean, what have you learned about your team? Because that's what this is about. Before you hit the conference schedule, who can we depend on for this? Who can we put in these situations? What are you learning?
yeah, I think we got a lot of guys out there. I mean, between last week and this week. I mean, this week we've only played one game against Rochester, and it was a funny game, really funny game. I mean, I've never taken a kid out with a no hitter, but yeah, I think we've just tried to find what guys' roles are, especially on the mound. That's been my biggest. Not necessarily concern, but just trying to figure out, like, all right, who's comfortable in the starter's role, who's comfortable coming out of the bullpen, what combination of pitchers can we use in a game, like righty lefty righty, or guys that throws a little bit harder and a guy that throws a little bit slower. I mean, those are things just to kind of mess with some timing. And how deep can guys go in the game? Before they I mean, again, this time of year, we're probably not going to see a 7-inning start, but nonetheless, some guys can have different pitches to get multiple times through the lineup. Some guys maybe just one time through the lineup, so can they give us 3 innings? So I think we've learned a lot. Thursday night we were inside, Wednesday and Thursday night this week because of the weather, and we just had a good discussion with our varsity group, and I had them fill out some lineups. I always like to give my team a little input, not that what they write down is, but I like them to give me their thoughts. Yeah. I mean, they see things that I don't see, and vice versa. And so when I kind of put everything together and kind of look at what they think and where they see themselves, even like where, because I have them write their name on it, and where they see themselves in the lineup in terms of the batting order and position, and it just kind of gives me a good indication of where we're at right now, where everyone else kind of sees everyone. So, yeah, well, I mean, obviously the Rochester game didn't go as planned. The final result wasn't what we wanted. Again, we learn a lot, and that's really what these games are about as we enter into the conference season next week.
Well, I'm thinking that the pitching part of it has become a big deal. I mean, back in the old days, you got the ball, son. Who's in relief? You're it today. Yep. And with the pitch count rules and stuff like that, being able to manage a pitching staff and get through a week of games like you guys play, that you got to understand roles and what you just said, who's comfortable where and how you can use them.
Yeah, I mean, even the major leagues if the starter goes 5 innings, that's about it anymore. Yeah. It's crazy. The complete game records in Major League Baseball will never be broken, ever.
Right.
I look back at some of the stats here at Plymouth and how many complete games they used to throw here, and that'll never be broken either. So, but that's all right. Go out and give us what you got, and I think that's having a lot of pitchers, which we have at different experience levels, ability levels. Trying to fit all those puzzle pieces together is something that. Like even going into last year, I didn't know what Dom's role would be, and he slid into a role that was very successful for him and us. And that's our goal as coaches, is to put you in a position where you're comfortable, that you're going to be set up for success, and help us for whatever it is that you give us that night. And same way defensively. I was speaking the other day or yesterday about. I led off Nick at Fairfield last Friday night. I led Nick off, and Nick would be the first one to say that he's not the quickest on the team, but as a pitcher, if he gets on, because he's getting on better than anyone else right now, but I can use a courtesy runner. So for 2 or 3 at bats, I can use Clint or whoever if Nick gets on, and that's just as good as whatever. So moving guys around in the lineup, having different lineups, there's a reason for everything.
I gotta say that when they came up with this third time through, that you shouldn't let a guy go more than 3 times through the order, and I didn't know if I believed that or not. But then, I thought about it and looked back on a lot of the games that I had coached and the teams we'd had over the years, and how many more games we would have won if I had known that then. Because it seems to me that that is almost a cardinal rule in my head anymore. You get to that fourth time through, and the hitter's in charge.
It is, and it's no different than us on offense. I mean, I like to think that if we struggle the first time through, that all right, we're going to be better the second time if we're talking to each other and we've seen everything and know what he's got. And yeah, I mean, you just if you can shrink the game down to, hey, you got to give us 2 innings tonight, or give us 3 innings, and go out and just give us what you got for those 3 innings, and bring the next guy in. I mean, like I said, that's really what. And the MLB's come to, and at the highest level is relievers are 1 inning guys. I mean, that's it. They're just going out and throwing 98 for 1 inning and then bringing in the next 98 mile an hour thrower. So we don't have that, but we do have guys that compete and have ability to get guys out. And we just got to minimize the freebies. I mean, that's really what hurt us the other night is just the 15 free bases, and Rochester didn't give us 15. I mean, we get 6 runs, and yeah, we just got to go out, and that'll continue to come. I mean, that'll continue to come with experience and so forth. So I'm excited to kind of go play a team that we haven't played and enter into the conference season and see how it all works out.
You kind of got some young guys on the mound in terms of pitching to varsity hitters. And, having the chance to get them out there, what I've noticed in the line scores, you're getting a lot of guys out there. And for those younger guys, that is huge, because you can't simulate varsity hitters on the JV or on the C team or wherever they're at. I mean, you got to pitch against the guys you're going to be pitching against, and it's an education.
Yeah, it is. And I had a good talk with a young pitcher the other day, just about pitching. I mean, I think when they come, if they have any success at the JV level, sometimes it's because they can either throw it by them, or they're not facing the hitters that they have at the varsity. And when they make that next step, you got to be a pitcher. You can't just be a thrower out there, and you got to figure out ways to get him out. Like, I mean, we talk about, on or out in the first 3 pitches, like find a way to get him to hit the ball. I mean, our defense has been really good. And so if I can find a way to get him to hit the ball early in the count by attacking the zone and so forth, then, I mean, that saves my arm. It speeds up the game. It just makes everyone engaged in the game. And so really just, trying to start to think about, how do I get this guy out? Not can I throw it by him, or this is about how do I get him out? And I think that's only going to come with learned experience. And sometimes you got to take some whacks when you got to learn some of that stuff. You get beat up a little bit and hit around a little bit, as we were a little bit the other night. But I think the longer we go into this, and the more we keep throwing guys out there, and the more they keep kind of just processing and learning the game of baseball and how to pitch to guys, that the better off we're going to be. And a lot of our young guys, I mean, they're quickly learning, because we do have some guys that have been thrown into the fire here, and they've done a really good job so far, and we try to get as many out there as we can.
Watching it now too, it seems to me hitters are smarter than they used to be. I mean, in the old days, when I was playing, we just go up there and hack. I mean, guys now, they're able to pick up different spins, different release angles. They're looking for stuff like that now. It hasn't been that long ago that they were just up there swinging.
Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of just new stuff, and I don't know what it is. I mean, whether it's the strength of the players or just whatever, but I mean, you get to the varsity level, whether it's travel ball and the experiences of that, and being able to kind of play. Everyone have an opportunity to play a lot of baseball in the summer and see some different competition. I don't know. I really can't maybe pinpoint it, but we face some really good hitters that, especially, I mean, the top of the lineups of a lot of teams are good, and you got to be able to find ways to get them out. I mean, we're going to play, again, all of our conference teams are going to be tough, and we just got to, again, continue to find ways to mix speeds. I think that's part of it too, is to get hitters off balance. And a lot of that stuff is, like I said, a kind of a learned experience, and that's what we've been trying to do here early on, is just getting as many guys on the mound as we can to try to kind of shrink that learning curve early in the year here.
When do you open conference season? I'm sorry, I don't have your schedule in front of me, but it's got to be soon, right?
Yeah, Monday. So next week starts conference at Mishawaka, at Concord, and Warsaw home next week. And then we got 5 weeks. So 5 weeks of Monday, Wednesday, Friday coming up here, and with a few games sprinkled in on the off days. But no, that's when the fun really starts. I mean, that's just the competitiveness of our conference, and just the history of teams that we've played against, and all the goods and bads start to come out, and it makes it a lot of fun.
How do you feel about where you're at heading into that? Because that's a grinder now. From here on out, you're not getting a night off.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we trying to get a few guys healthy here. That's another thing is just trying to maybe take a night off here or there to rest arms or rest legs. Or, I mean, baseball is a grind. I mean, I had a kid in class the other day said, "How many games you got this week?" 12, just jokingly, because we had 4 in a row last week. But that's really how it feels sometimes. In a lot of sports are playing one a week, or track, or this or that. But no, I mean, baseball is a different animal. Once you get stuff implemented, it's just about kind of maintaining your health and then just shoring up some things, putting in maybe a few different pickoff plays, or making sure different specialty defenses are in place. But nonetheless, it's about going out and playing and seeing where it all falls.
Well, man, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it. I'll let you go get your stuff taken care of before you take off. Good luck this weekend, and we'll be running into you again soon.
All right. Appreciate it, Rusty. Thank you.
It's Ryan Wolf, the head coach at Plymouth. And in this segment of the Coaches Show, we're joined by Will Haustrauser, the AD at Lavelle High School. Man, I wanted to get you on at least one more time before, like I said in my email, before you start fishing for a living. But congratulations on your retirement, and I'm just happy to have one more chance to talk to you.
Yeah, well, hey, thanks. I tell you what, the sun's a little bit brighter now, and it's kind of nice. You get a little bit of warm weather and get you outside a little bit. And you're right, them fish will be biting. I can't wait to find out.
You've been at this. Let's just go all the way back. I mean, you were a coach young, but I mean, you were part of this whole thing even before that. You're a coach's kid. Your dad was the guy over at Glenn. I'm sure you were around it from the time you were just a little boy.
Yeah. I can honestly say I went from being the water boy, trying to get in on a few sideline tackles when my dad was a head football coach at John Glenn, and then I graduated up to be the video guy. Got to sit on top of some press boxes that probably wouldn't pass OSHA standards now. Then you go to school, and was fortunate enough to be able to play baseball in college and have some opportunities there and get my degree, and got my first teaching job at John Glenn and started coaching actually while I was student teaching. That was kind of a rule at Bethel. You couldn't do that at that time, but I guess I'm all about breaking them rules, because I knew that's what I wanted to do, was teach and coach, and was fortunate enough to have that opportunity when I was student teaching even. So been doing it ever since, and been in a lot of different places, and been very fortunate to experience a lot of things across my career, and very thankful for each opportunity that's presented itself. That's for sure.
I'm sure your dad had an impact on you. I mean, what did you learn watching him that you took with you as you went through?
Yeah, it's funny, playing football for him and then playing baseball for him in high school. One word comes to mind, and that's responsibility. You look in the mirror, that's who you're responsible for, and the actions that you do, you're in full control of that. And how you react to certain situations is a lot of times going to determine the outcome of those. So being resilient and no matter what's stacked up against you or who you're lining up across from, just the ability to, just flat compete and give it your best. And I think that's something that he instilled in his teams when we played. That's something I've carried with me my entire career. I love being the underdog. There's nothing I like more than that. And I love doing things when people think that it's impossible. and turning things into something that people say there's no way you can do that. That's I get a lot of satisfaction from that.
During your playing days in college, especially, you were on a couple of really special teams at Bethel, weren't you? Didn't you win a national championship once?
Yeah, we were won the 1990 NCCAA national championship, and I was lucky enough to be a part of that team too, with Coach Dick Patterson and a bunch of guys. We got the opportunity to play down in Warner Southern early in the year on our spring break and break in their diamond, and that was kind of a neat thing. And then having the ability to, I guess just come back and play on a great diamond at Bethel, and I just had a good experience there, and both academically and athletically. It got to play baseball in France a couple times, and be treated like you're a professional athlete in a foreign country, because the French can't play baseball worth a crap, or they couldn't back then. I can tell you that. But it was a lot of fun. It was signed autographs, and it was a neat experience for sure.
Well, talk about some of the guys you played with too, because you had a lot of coaches come out of that team you run. Jim Shively played with you. I mean, Norm Sellers, I think, played. There's a lot of coaches came out of there.
Yeah. Norm played. He was a pitcher on our team. Jim Shively was an outfielder. John Hirschberger was second baseman on that team. And, there's, Ken Santilli was the other catcher. He played, he was from Penn, and Shane Hopkins, Mark Bradford. We it was a lot of local talent that we really enjoyed getting to know one another, but then gelling together and playing. And over the years, we've kind of kept in touch. I know Shive won the state title in baseball at Triton when he was there, and I told him that he should give me a ring too, because I gave him all my scouting reports from when I was at Glenn, and helped him along the way. But it's kind of a neat thing, and those connections are something that I'm fortunate to have for the rest of my life, for sure.
You got out, you got your first coaching job. I think it was baseball, correct? Did you coach football too after you started over there at Glenn?
Yeah. Actually, I started coaching football as an assistant football coach at John Glenn because they couldn't find anybody else. So I got on that staff with Dan Droder when he was hired in, because my mom at the time wouldn't let my dad coach. So they needed me to start. So I was a warm body that fixed a lot of equipment and made sure the water jug was full on Friday nights. That was what my role was when I started.
What was it that got you into coaching? I mean, was it something you said you knew you always wanted to do it? What was it that about it that you wanted to be a part of?
I think just the opportunity to lead a bunch of young men to play. Initially, I loved the game of baseball. It's the only game, not governed by the hands of time. Although that's arguable right now with the new rules and all that. But I just enjoy the competition. Baseball gave me a lot of opportunities, and I got to see the world doing it, and that's something that was really fun. But football was something. The other sport, I had the opportunity to do both. I just chose to do baseball in college, but I love that game too, and it's just different. Anybody that's played it or been a part of it understands football is very, very unique. It's very demanding. It's very emotional. And I really enjoyed being a part of that. I was actually in position to become the next head coach at John Glenn until I got to be the athletic director, and they chose not to. They didn't want me to do that at that point in time. Right. So I took a hiatus for 16 years. And then we were here at LaVille, and we had an opening, and we couldn't find anybody else. And somebody looked at me and said, "Why don't you do it?" And that's how that all started. So it was interesting.
As a player, which one did you like best? Or did you not? They were both pretty equal. I mean, what did you like one more than the other?
Yeah, I think baseball's always just been my true love. To be honest with you, I enjoyed playing that probably because I was better at that than anything else. But football is a very, very close second for sure. I really enjoyed playing that too. Football's the only game you can play. You can get mad at somebody and it's legal to beat them up. It's kind of fun.
How about as a coach? Did you like one better than the other, or was baseball still the love?
You know, that's a tough one. Going in and before I became head football coach here at LaVille, I would easily say baseball was that. But I can honestly say I've had opportunities to, leave LaVille and go other places and be an AD. But a lot of times it circled back. I was football coach here, and football kept me here. I really enjoy what we have here and what's been able to be continued since I've been here. So, again, love being the underdog and then love doing something somewhere where people say, oh, you can't do that. And that's, I've been very fortunate for that too.
Knowing you a little bit, and you remind me of somebody I lived in the same house with for about 30 years. And he had the same, Bill Nixon was a baseball coach. That's what he's known as. But I always told him, I said, I almost think you were a better football coach because it fit your personality better. And knowing you a little bit, I feel like football fits your personality a little bit better.
Yeah. That's one thing. When I first started coaching here, it was kind of the joke around here. I always showed up Monday to work and I couldn't talk because I didn't have a voice. I was screaming so much on the sidelines. But, I think the one nice thing about that, and, I've coached against your father in baseball. In fact, he tried to beat us when I was at Glenn for win number 600. I remember that. But I also remember he didn't get it. He got it the next night against Shives at Triton, and I make sure I let Shively know about that every time I see him. So, but yeah, it's football and the emotions that are involved, and you can wear your emotions on your sleeve, and kids enjoy the passion that you bring because we ask so much of them. You can just kind of let it out. Where in baseball, you got to sit in there and it's just kind of just a slow stew sometimes. And you just got to make sure you keep your P's and Q's in order not to upset the apple cart during the game. It's just a game where you just got to sit back and let happen what happens and then try to control what you can control. So
moved into administration, and I bet the hardest part of that was sitting in an office rather than being in a dugout or on a sideline. I mean, because most places don't want their administrators to have the coaching duty too. It's a lot, and it's a lot on the shoulders of somebody to take care of. Did you really miss it a lot when you went into the office?
Well, it was one thing I didn't miss is them bells that go off during the school day. They're so, you got to move and go somewhere, or I had to go to different classrooms or a different lab. And I was constantly, every time I see one of those things, it's almost like a shot collar on a dog. You just got to get up and move a little bit. So we've got getting just not listening to those is something to get used to. So that freedom was kind of nice from that. But as far as coaching goes, when I was at John Glenn, they took away football for me because I did not have any experience as an athletic director. They thought I needed to focus on that.
Right.
And they were definitely smart about that because I honestly, until you're an AD and you walk the walk, you don't really have a clue. I always tell people when you don't know what I do, I'm doing my job perfect because you don't see me, you don't hear me, you don't, everything's all in order. It's when something's amiss that you know what I do because usually you're yelling at me about it. So, that's one thing. But I got to be head baseball coach at John Glenn right when I became athletic director. And I learned real fast spring is the battle with Mother Nature. Time, and it's probably the most stressful when you're a head coach during that season because you get pulled a million different directions. So that was actually really tough. You're worried about everything else when you're out trying to coach baseball and be out on the diamond. And I didn't have an assistant didn't have a secretary, had nothing. It was just me. So I had to solve a lot of problems on the fly and learn on the fly really quick. And so those were some tough days when you're cutting your teeth. But as you get a little more seasoned, you understand things a little bit more and how things work. And over time, that kind of takes care of itself, I think.
I got to agree with you. I don't think anybody knows, unless you sat in that AD's chair, the amount of minutia that you have to. I mean, you got to have scoreboard people, you got to have concession people, you got to have ticket takers, you got to have officials, you got to, and that's before you even get to what equipment and coaches and all that. I mean, there is so much on an AD's plate. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. As the jobs evolved, I was kind of talking today with Michael Edison during lunch. As the jobs evolved and changes get made, you can do some things during times where you have changes. For instance, last night we're all looking at all these different radars, guessing what's going to happen, and you end up canceling, and the sun comes out, and you look not real smart. But it's a challenge with all the technology that you have even now to stay on top of things, because you're right, there are so many places that you can swing and miss, so to speak, and it's all detail oriented. And that's one thing I'm thankful that I've got a baseball background, because baseball is such a routine game. You have to practice over and over and over the same things. And being an AD is very similar to that, in that you got to have some real good procedures and ways of doing things. And then you have to be a really solid communicator with a number of different people and be able to do that fast and efficiently. So it's funny, when it starts raining, everybody calls your office and wants to know if you're going to play, right when you're trying to make those decisions and actually communicate with the officials and the other opponents and everything else. You'll get that random phone call that comes in. Hey, we playing today?
All right,
kind of log jams you.
Guilty as charged. All right, I'll take that.
Oh yeah, no, you're all good. You're part of the people we got to talk to, right?
Yeah.
You got to make sure.
Well,
I want to make sure you know where you're going.
And talk about talking to people. I mean, you're the complaint department, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. That's not a secret. That's for sure. One thing at the end of the day, Mike Schuler was the principal at John Glenn when I first started being AD. He called me into his office one of my very first days, and he said one thing to me, and it's always stuck with me through my career. It's when you make decisions, there's going to be a certain faction of people that are going to be mad, and there's going to be a certain faction that's going to be happy. It doesn't matter what the kind of decision is. But you always do so with the kid's best interests in mind. And if you do that, you can look at yourself in the mirror, and you're not going to have to worry about making people mad or upset or anything else. And that has gotten me through things that have been pretty difficult situations on numerous occasions. Because honestly, that's all you're trying to do, is give kids the best experience they can have during these 4 magical years that everybody's in high school. They want to get out of high school because they're tired of high school. And then as soon as they get out, they want to come back because they realize how easy life was back then. That's something that I've always carried with me, though, from Mr. Schuler. He gave me that, and I was thankful for that.
I had a lot of chance to be around Mike, too. He's just a great guy.
Yeah, he sure is. He's taught me a lot. There's been some great administrators I've been able to work with, and he's one of the best, for sure.
Well, tell me, what you look back, you've had a lot of success, a lot of things to be proud of, a lot of things that, commendable thing. What is the thing that if you could narrow one down, and you don't have to, you've got several, that's fine, but what are you most proud of over the course of your career?
Well, that's a great question, because you can look back and you can talk in terms of sports. You can talk in terms of, just when I was a teacher and those sorts of things. And I think probably the most beneficial thing to me is when I get that phone call or somebody crosses paths that has either played for me or been part of even the Legion team or something that I've been a part of, and they remember that experience, but I can catch back up to them and just see where they're at in their life, and be able to see that what we did either on the playing field or in the classroom has impacted them in a positive way, and they're being a productive citizen. That to me, there's no greater reward. You can talk about getting big money and contracts and all that stuff, but seeing a young man that was on one of your teams go and be successful in his walk, be a successful family guy, a dad, get married, have kids, however that, whatever they choose, and just be successful and be happy. Those are the things. Just the other day, I'm in my workshop at my house, and we're redoing some cabinets, and I'm painting. And I called back. I was looking at old LVH1 things that we did here when the program started. And their first broadcast was our football game down at West Central. And we went down there and had a pretty successful night. We had a young man named Ethan Curtay that could do some things on a football field that I still shake my head about. And I just shot him a text, said, Ethan, I just want to let you know, I'm watching this game on YouTube. You need to look it up because you were pretty darn good. Fun to watch, and I still shake my head. I can't believe you could do some of those things. And, he just shot me a text back, and just that connectivity. It's invaluable to me, and I really appreciate the opportunities that I've had. And that's just one example. There's tons of those. So that's probably the thing that really sticks with me more than anything else.
Well, man, I personally want to thank you for a couple of things. You've always taken such great care of us. I really appreciate that because fat old sports guys need a lot of taking care of. And my kid played for you too, and I know he really loved being a part of those post teams that you coached, and you had an impact on him as well. And it looks like he's going to move on and coach. And I keep telling him, you watch your grandpa and me both do this. Well, how can you be that big an idiot? But he really loved playing for you, and I thank you for that. And good luck to you as you move on. I'm sure we're going to run into each other a bunch more.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much too. And a lot of people don't understand, what you guys bring to the table in terms of media for high school sports is a lifeline. And these kids really enjoy watching themselves, hearing about themselves. I know the parents, the grandparents always enjoy the coverage that you provide. And as a school system administrator in an environment of school of choice, people who don't treat the media well and appreciate what you do, talk about a swing and a miss, man, because you guys are the best advertising that we could have. And I understand that. And I appreciate your efforts, not only for us, but for everybody else. So,
well, man, I'm going to say what I know I'd hear you say. You just heard that. Just doing my job, man. Just doing my job.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's what I'm supposed to do. So, well, once again, thanks for everything, and good luck to you. And like I said, we're definitely going to run into each other a few more times yet this spring. I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. Thanks so much, Rusty.
All right. And now it's time to announce this week's Tony the Boss Ross Athlete of the Week, given in honor of our comrade Tony Ross, Max 98.3 broadcaster, who died suddenly a year ago. His legacy of dedication to the craft, unending work ethic, his devotion to athletes and coaches in the area is never going to be matched. That's a legacy that we try to honor each week with this award. And we'll let you know who this week's winner is right after a word from Johnson Danielson Funeral Home.
Johnson Danielson Funeral Home has proudly served the Plymouth community since 1879. Today, our dedicated team continues a tradition of compassionate care supporting families throughout Marshall County. Whether you're planning ahead or honoring a loved one, Johnson Danielson offers a range of personalized options from burial and cremation packages to flexible pre-planning solutions and helpful planning checklists. This is Jamie Beckwith. Our experienced and caring staff are available for you 24 hours a day, ready to guide you every step of the way. Simply call 574-936-2829. To learn more about our services, visit johnson-danielson.com. Johnson Danielson Funeral Home, service beyond the expectation.
And this week's Tony the Boss Ross Athlete of the Week is LaVille's Lucas Kresge. He's a freshman golfer at LaVille. He earned medalist honors with a 2 over 38 in the rain at Black Squirrel Golf Course on Wednesday. It was his first varsity match of his career. Takes the medalist award with a 2 under. And so Lucas Kresge, our winner of the Tony the Boss Ross Athlete of the Week Award. He will receive a certificate, a history of the award, and a T-shirt commemorating that achievement. He'll also be a future guest on the Saturday Morning Coaches Show and be eligible for our Tony the Boss Ross Max 98.3 Athlete of the Year Award later this spring. That carries a plaque and a college scholarship, compliments of Max 98.3 and Johnson Danielson Funeral Home. So Tony the Boss Ross Max 98.3 Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Johnson Danielson Funeral Home of Plymouth.